Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Fallout here. Hope everybody is doing good. So we're back doing B Tycoon again. Absolutely awesome update. Look at this. Very pleased with this edition, and I'll go through why in a second. This video is going to be all about this timed event boss, some of the updates you might have missed, which are over here, that are very important to make sure you've used them and you know about them. Also redoing the skill tree and how to use your perks. Those videos got corrupted when transferring data, so I'm redoing them for this video now. But let's talk about this timed event boss. That's what we're here for. Well, why is it so important? Work together with friends to destroy the event hive as quickly as possible. When time runs out, all players receive the same rewards, which is 2 times gather rate. For every event hive destroyed, gain a longer buff after event time is over. Awesome. This means that if you're a weak player, you're going to want to be getting yourself into public lobbies if you aren't already. You're going to want to get into public lobbies, or you're going to want to contact your friends like, guys, I need help. You can get me maximum amount of buff here. Get in, help me out. This is so good. It's taking people back out of the solo AFK zones, and it's pushing back to community again, which is a really important part for me. I think it's awesome. It lets me go and be able to help people who are just starting out. I can go and give them max buff rewards, and it lets people who are, well, struggling a little bit get back into public lobbies and be able to get full buff rewards again. I just think it's awesome. It would have been nice to have seen it sooner. I'm just glad it's in now. You're going to see a small edit, and you're going to see just how much I get for this voice crack. It's taking me around 15 seconds to break this hive. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a stopwatch. I'm going to start it now. Okay, so 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and that is 15 seconds. So 15 seconds, it is obviously going to be just, sometimes it's going to be just below 15 seconds, sometimes it's going to just be over, depending on like your criticals and all the rest of it. But on average, this is 15 seconds. So let's go and do the event boss now. So let's teleport back to the village, and let's go and do the event boss, and then come back and retime it and see, just to make sure we are getting what we were meant to be getting. So let's go in now. Oops. Right, straight to hive. Okay, I'm just going to sit here, and I think it's around 20. So it's 3. What we're 18, 19, and this should be the last one, hopefully. 20. So I've got 20 hives broken, and that is a timer around at 21. I just sneaked in. So I've got 18 minutes. 18 minutes is massive. Absolutely massive. Let's go to the hive. And let's just check we are getting what we want, which is double speed. Okay, so I'm going to put the timer on. I'm going to start now. .4 seconds. So, there we go guys. You are getting almost 100% speed increase. That's timed event done guys, that's that out of the way. Now I want to make sure you've not missed this one. Now your final strike boost has been increased. Okay, so make sure you're checking your final strike, and it's up at level 40 if you can afford it to be level 40. A lot of people are missing this one guys. A lot of people who are not in the Discord did not realise this has been raised. So please pay attention to that one guys, because obviously it's massive. If you just don't want to be missing out on this one. Also one that was done a wee while ago, I'm sure everybody knows about this one now, but just in case you don't, the cap for the B has been raised. Okay, so make sure your extra gather, your attack speed, all that has been increased. Make sure you're maxing out if you can afford to guys, okay? So that's where your max stats for your B is, okay? So that's that awesome. So that's that done. Now let's talk about the skill tree guys, okay? Sorry this video should have been out weeks ago, I do apologise. But let's go and talk about the skill tree. Okay, very important that you understand the skill tree if you're just starting out, okay? This reset is very much worth the purchase, okay? So critical hit is really the only one you're mostly going to be resetting. Now, right critical chance, multi-crit, surge strike, and phantom strike are for farming. That is your farming direction. If you want to do boss battles, you're going to want to go to the left hand side, and you're going to want to, obviously you'll have to repurchase critical chance and critical damage, execute, and overcharge. Okay. Now, if I was going to do a boss, and say I was on Epic Gun and I was doing the Spider, and I was running multi-crit, Surge Strike, and Phantom Strike, and I was wanting to do, say, 100 bosses, that boss would take me 8 magazines to kill that boss with an Epic Gun. Okay? Now, if I go left and do critical damage, execute, and overcharge, it's only going to take me 6. Okay, that's how important the skill tree is if you're choosing the wrong direction. And for whatever gain it's going to give you on bosses, it's going to have the negative impact on your farming. So if you're left and you're meant to be farming, you're in a lot of trouble. If you're right and you're going into bosses, you're losing a lot of time. Okay, so that is me, say, going from 8 magazines, I'm now on 6. And then let's go and talk about how the perks work with the skill tree. So I'm on my perks, and right now I'm on my gather rate, and let's say if I was to go in and do the epic gun on Spider, I'm still sitting at only 6. So it'd still be 6 magazines, which was better than the 8, but I'm now only doing 6. So what I do is I change my perks. Okay, and I'm looking for attack. Attack is the only perk that actually has any impact on bosses. It's all about bosses. There's no help whatsoever for your farming side of things, none. Okay, so now I've got 3 attack. So that means I started with 8 magazines. I've changed my skill tree and now on 6. I've changed my perks to 3 attack. I'm now down to 4. And believe me, it adds up. And the perks are so cheap to do, or should be so cheap, otherwise you bought the gun too early. They should be cheap to buy. You shouldn't even really notice your money going down, to be honest with you. If you're really struggling, you've probably bought the gun too early, in my honest opinion. Or yeah, I think that's about a fair assumption. So again, make sure you change back when you're going back to your farming, re-roll them, and unlock them. Re-roll them, which would be, for me, I like to run gather rate times 2 and 1 critical chance. Like that. That is my farming preferred outcome. Now, when you get the mythic, obviously you're probably going to constantly have instant reload on there if you want to. But that is my farming stats. Make sure I'm back on the right hand side for skill tree. See, if you don't constantly check where you are, you will forget, and then you'll start hitting something and you'll be like, oh, what's happened? It's probably your skill tree. So there you go. So that is how to use the skill tree for bosses and for farming on the first section. Combo strike. This one can be a bit controversial. From my testing, I found if it's a hard to kill hive, then going left is far superior than going right by about 20%. That's what my testing gave me anyway. I tested all the difficult hives, I tested them multiple times. Damage amp, when it finally kicks in, is really very powerful. The accelerator thing kicks in quicker, but it doesn't do quite the same amount of damage. That's what I found anyway. From my testing, it's like the right hand side's very good for like reasonably quick to kill hives, and left is very good for like harder to kill hives. So really, I just keep it left all the time and I never change it. Again, if I'm wrong about any of these things on the skill tree, please correct me in the comments. These videos are meant to be helping people, so if I've made any mistakes, please point them out in the comments, okay? It's not a big deal. I don't mind being wrong. It's absolutely fine. The point is to help. Bee Swarm. Bee Swarm is obviously far better going right than left, but left, when you're just starting out, is going to be the one you're going to do because it's going to be cheaper, and that's fine. Just make sure you're trying to always get to the point where you can get right eventually using reset, and then try and get this perk up to level 3 if you can. Okay, so you really want to be keeping skill tiers to 3 if you can, because it's so helpful when you're going back through the game, that this skill tree on bee swarm, because swarm stalkers is killing most of the wasps for you that come out the high risk hives. You know, it's 60%, so more wasps get killed than what come out, and that lets you one hit. You should be one hitting the hives really before you're working on the high risk hives. You don't want to be like, you don't want to be 4 or 5 hits. You want to be 1 or 2 hits in the high risk hives, so you can get the max amount of final strike, get through the rooms, get your strength up, and move on. That's why right's so important. Plus, you're getting the very important bones. Okay, so you get granted rewards, which is bones. It's letting you farm the harder to kill hives. It's much better right than left. On the hive, I'm unsure whether right or left is best. I would assume right because of this one. Multi-swarms can hit the same hive. How much of a difference they make in hives, I'm unsure on that one. Again, I don't use Discord or anything for my information, guys. All my information comes from my own personal testing. I don't use Discord for it. I test all my stuff myself. So, again, there's going to be things where I might be wrong on. But I like to try and at least, if I get it right, it's on me. If I get it wrong, it's also on me. I don't normally use all the stuff in the Discord. It's just what I do. Lightning, probably one of the biggest, the least used perk out of all of them. And I say that because when you get to finally actually enjoy the lightning, which is up at 4-4, and that's really you just going to town on like the hives up there, destroying everyone around you. It's very cool, looks absolutely awesome. And then you're either going to prestige because you can't afford the 10,000k for the portal room, or you're going to go into the portal room and then prestige, or you're going to work through the hives and prestige. Never really see the lightning because the lightning has no effect in the hives. In the volcano room, it doesn't do anything. So the only time the lightning is good is when you're coming back through the game or the initial part before you go into the actual hive itself. So lightning is a bit of like a dud. At the moment, I'm sure there'll be things added where it'll become beneficial, but right now, lightning, I never see it. I've not seen it for ages. I can barely even remember what it looks like. Because I've been in the hive room for so long. It's not until a prestige and with my skill tiers being kept that this is going to be really, really helpful for me. That is when it's going to really be at its maximum for me. But yeah, so that is the perk tree. Sorry, that is the skill tree. All the perks, how to use them all. I think that's pretty much covered everything in the video. There's one thing to go at the end, and that is a little bit of a thank you from Blazing. Honestly, can't thank you enough, Blazing. I'm sorry this video should have been out weeks ago. Unfortunately, I lost everything. I really do appreciate it. Like I say, I would have been out weeks ago as a thank you then, but I'm redoing it now. Absolutely awesome. A little part of this game, here forever, which is awesome considering we were 800 hours in. It's nice to have a little part of the game, and I really do appreciate it. So yeah, there we go, guys. It pays to be honest sometimes. Rather than exploiting, cheating, if maybe it's like good incentive for anyone that finds something is to maybe speak to Blazing quietly and say you found something, and you never know, one day you might get your own little thank you in the games as well. Always find it's better to be honest than be a cheat. So there we go, guys. Happy ending. Thanks very much. Fallout out.